Pioneering the concept of fat as fuel for performance has been an ultra-endurance competition in and of itself. But today, we've had a bit of a win. Hammer Nutrition took a momentous big step to help us drive human health. And they did this in a positive direction when it published this vlog article on fats and their benefits called Demystifying Fats Part 1. Now, this opens a literal Pandora's box of questions for so many athletes who have trusted and followed the oversimplified conventional advice and science of high carbohydrate diet and fueling, and making a seismic shift by admitting too many concentrated forms of carbohydrates is not a good idea, and that dietary fats aren't the scourge, but are essential for our health. Here is what I love about this article. One, and most of all, for my ego, it's aligned with my point of view, i.e. my confirmational bias, my passion, my financial interest, and all that. And it's what I've been talking about for years. Humans simply did not evolve to chronically consume carbohydrates the way we do today. Secondly, I love how he made the deep dive into how our cells are composed of a lipid bilayer. Now, I know for most of you, this is where your eyes glaze over, but the takeaway I can give you on this, let them glaze over, is the author did his homework and he understands the crucial and critical connection of how dietary fats are critically linked to our cellular health. And third, his summary is excellent by identifying and calling out the two major scourges of modern health challenges, and that is refined carbohydrates and polyunsaturated vegetable oils. These are modern foods we simply did not evolve to consume, yet they're ubiquitous in today's modern diet. He then gives credit where credit is due by citing people he has read, and kudos to the author and the authors he cites. So I want to give kudos to everybody, including Dr. French. Now, I'd like to elaborate on just a few of the points the article touched upon because they are critically important. In the final paragraph of What the First Humans Ate, that estimated 1/3 of our hunter-gatherer calories coming from animals is very, very important, more than just the calories. And this is because animal-based protein and fat are exponentially more nutritionally dense and bioavailable than the calories found in plant-based foods, with things like omega-3s, fat-soluble vitamins, essential EPA and DHA essential fatty acids, and certain amino acids, which can only be found in animal-based foods. This is why we have nutrition, not calories, to make up the second tier of the OFM pyramid. In the subsequent section, where the author describes how our large brain evolved from a diet composed largely of animal fats, how our cell walls are composed of a lipid bilayer, and how within that lipid bilayer, a plethora of complex biological reactions are constantly occurring to sustain life. These processes are all based upon the metabolism of fat. Lipid, as it's called in the article, is the scientific term for fat. So it's all about fat metabolism. I'm going to keep it with the nickel and dime words, not the dollar words. Now, here are some things to be aware of. First of all, and as I keep beating this drum, context matters. I'm 110% in agreement with the premise of this article. However, most of us simply don't hunt nor have access to wild game. Our hunting and gathering has been transformed to grocery store aisles and restaurant menus and the drive-in or drive-through, with the plethora of choices and the resulting impact on our health and performance being complicated by cost, modern market, and the nutritional science, not to mention maximizing shareholder return. And all of this was heavily skewed by promoting a form of science that validated highly profitable foods and, once again, maximizes shareholder return. Now, third, be especially aware of junk and snack foods branded as paleo, primal, or keto, etc. After reading a great article like this one, you just got to. A big part of our evolutionary heritage hinged upon our fasting and feasting, where snacks and snacking had no role. No matter how paleo, primal, or keto a snack claims to be, by evolutionary default and the fact that it is packaged, it has no place. And this is why fasting is really important. Now, here's what's missing that I'd like to see. This article follows the tried and true approach of identifying the diet and dietary components. What's missing is the magic. The magic of metabolism. I know I'm a nerd, and this is where I lose people because we have been entrained into thinking of our health in terms of diet and exercise with that thing called healthcare as our backstop or safety net. Diet compartmentalizes and commoditizes information. Remember, you're an individual. It corrals it into comprehensible bits of information, whereas the magic of metabolism, it's truly magical, folks. And why I am in constant awe and endless pursuit of understanding more to help the people we serve, you, better. Does this mean we all need to eschew carbohydrates, go keto, start drinking MCT oil, and doing fat bombs to fuel us? No, not at all. Because there are limitations to keto which prevent you from reaching your full potential. The truth is, carbohydrate-based foods from Hammer or GU or Cliff or any other sports nutrition company, they have a definite place when it comes to that performance edge and why we look upon them and use them as a legal PED to get that performance without hurting you, without having that impact on your health. Now, strategic use of carbohydrates, both in the diet and fueling, are important. They are markers for your metabolic capacity, in addition to providing that performance push necessary for fat-based performance. You can't do it on fat alone, folks. Some carbs, endogenous, exogenous, really help, and they help drive your fat adaptation. And guess what? That ability to push yourself to higher intensities is an important stressor, an adaptive stressor, and it's necessary for optimizing fat metabolism. And this is one of the huge limitations of keto. You can't optimize it. Now, how can you apply this information to your metabolic health and performance? To start with, instead of thinking in binary terms, right, wrong, black, white, Republican, Democrat, wrong, right, this has all become sort of the default bane of modern thinking, or lack thereof. Let's think more like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Just right. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's just right. And we got to make it just right for you. And while I'm no Goldilocks by any stretch of the imagination, we can help guide you to that just right for you. Everything begins with you and your metabolism. by implementing tools like diet, supplementation, exercise, and lifestyle to build your metabolic capacity to burn fat at the levels nature shaped us for. You will achieve higher health and peak performance without stress or a restrictive diet. If you are not already enjoying the benefits of Vespa or an optimized fat metabolism, here are 3 ways to get started. One of the best ways to get started is to inform yourself with one of our free PDF ebooks. One is Conquering the Terrible 3, this is especially good if you're an endurance athlete with challenges like bonking, GI distress, and bad recoveries. We've just published the Ultimate Bonk-Free Fueling Strategy, or get the deeper dive by getting Beyond Keto. You can also grab a 12-pack of Vespa and use the discount First Time for a 20% discount for first-time users so that you can experience the benefits of fat adaptation and making that shift to fat as fuel without having to change a thing, neither your diet nor your exercise. And finally, if you really want to get started and get a more personalized experience, contact us about individual coaching or consulting.